I thought I was sleepwalking. Then I woke up in the woods. When I was a kid, maybe 6, I developed this strange habit. I'd lie completely still in bed every night, eyes shut, trying to breathe as quietly as possible. Why? Because I kept hearing someone walking just outside my room. At first, I told myself it was my mom, or maybe our old dog pacing the hallway. But it didn't feel right. The steps were deliberate, slow, like whoever it was didn't want to wake me, but wanted me to know they were there. What really got me was how the footsteps would stop when I held my breath. I tested it, over and over. The moment I went silent, the steps paused. The moment I exhaled, they crept forward again. It felt like something was listening for me. One night, everything changed. I woke up lying flat on cold earth. Not in my bed, not in my house. I was surrounded by trees, tall, dark, and completely silent. I remember the moon being high, lighting patches of forest around me. There were no roads, no lights, no sound. I screamed. Nothing answered. Eventually, a search team found me. They told my mom I was maybe a quarter mile from the house. No one could explain how I'd gotten out there. No one in the neighborhood saw anything. Doors were locked, windows shut, no signs of forced entry. I was grounded for getting out on my own. Years later, something resurfaced. I was going through old school papers with my mom, junk from my early elementary years, and she pulled out a sealed envelope with my name scribbled on it. Inside were a bunch of photographs. They were of me. Me playing in the yard, me at recess, me sitting in my room at night. None of these were taken by my parents, and definitely not by me. One photo in particular made my skin crawl. It was a shot of me asleep in bed. The angle suggested someone had stood just inside my door. The timestamp was from the same week I had heard those footsteps. My mom didn't want to talk about it. I remember her shoving the photos into the trash and muttering something like, "It's all over, just forget it." But I couldn't forget. Years later, I found more pieces of the puzzle. Turns out, back in kindergarten, our teacher had us write letters and tie them to balloons. Pen pal project, she said. The idea was they'd float off and maybe someone would find them and write back. I did get a reply. A single letter, no return address. I was 6. I didn't think much of it. I wrote back. We exchanged notes for years. What I didn't know, what I only realized recently, was that whoever I'd been writing to had always known exactly who I was, where I lived, what I looked like asleep. You think you remember your childhood. You think the memories are yours. But some things, like why you started sleeping with the blanket over your head, or why you avoided the closet after 9 p.m., some things come from places you've buried deep. And sometimes they come back in footsteps,